Okay, so this week the goal is for us to experiment with another digital media skill. So we've done a little bit of 3D sculpting before, and this time what we want to do is get to a point where we can use the skills you've started with Damballs and start generating environments that we could use for a game level. So last week for e-learning, I set you the objective of taking photographs of a space you're really familiar with at home. And the point of this was that if it's something that you're really familiar with, if you make an error in the measurements or when you're producing it, hopefully you're going to know straight away that something is off. Or worst case scenario, if you've got no understanding of the space you spend half your life in at home, you're at least able to go home after the lesson, whip out a tape measure and make sure things line up. So it's an opportunity for you to learn a new skill as well as practice your research skills to make sure you nail this. So this is an example I made during enrollment. It's got maybe an hour or two of work. There's nothing overly complex in here. With Damballs, you've already practiced how to create assets in terms of kind of making simple shapes, using the extrude tool, insert edge loops and bevels and connects and things like that. So hopefully across this session, I'll make a few more videos after this one which break down on those individual tools so you've got a reference and an example of how to use them. But if we dive into the scene, all of my assets are really simple 3D primitives, just duplicated and moved around to create a bigger whole that looks a lot more complex. So again, up here, just cubes that have been stretched out and layered on top of each other. These are the pillows, just little cubes that I've done a few little cheats on. Shelves, cubes, a boolean for the window and the door. And beyond that, there is no kind of magic. I've done nothing complex yet. I've just got really clean and easy shapes to recognize. And I've established a good working relationship between all of the assets. And by that I mean the scale of all of my assets makes sense relative to each other. So we've got a sense, by the sense of the scale of the bed, we know that it's quite a small person living in this house. And as a result, it kind of gives us a bit of leeway in the size of everything else in the room. So whenever we play a game that's made by like an indie team or something, we know it's made by an indie team, and it's probably not the best product in the world because straight away we're looking at windows that are placed too high up in the house, or the doorways are a little bit too tall or too short. And it's these really small indicators that kind of instantly trigger our brains into thinking, right, this ain't real. This is a really poor imitation. So as long as we get things lined up correctly relative to each other, all will be fine. All right.